Now, the Masoretes were Jewish scribes, whose work all of our Old Testaments are now based on. And they developed a vowel pointing system that we still see in Hebrew Bibles today. To oversimplify it, the Hebrew alphabet doesn't have vowels like A, E, I, O, U, only consonants like B, G, S, or T, for example. The Masoretic system of dots and lines in and around the Hebrew letters was designed to preserve the ability to speak the Hebrew language by indicating vowel sounds, much the same way that the phonetic spelling of words in our modern dictionaries depict how English words are to be pronounced. But when it came to YHVH, the Masoretes purposely mispointed the name. It was no secret that they did this, and it wasn't done with nefarious purposes. The reason for the mispointing was to simply prompt the reader to not attempt pronouncing YHVH, and instead say either Adonai or Elohim. And here's how they did it. Let's look at Adonai as an example. The word Adonai, of course, looks nothing like YHVH, and in the Masoretic text, it's pointed to indicate its vowel sounds, A, O, and I. For over 5,600 of the biblical occurrences of YHVH, the Masoretes took only 2 of these vowel points and superimposed them onto the name. The reader would then be familiar with this coding, see YHVH, but instead speak Adonai. If we tried pronouncing it as written, it actually doesn't make much sense, because the vowel points are incomplete. It might give us something like Yavah or Yawah. And in about 75 occurrences, the Masoretes also include the vowel point for the O sound, as in Adonai. And for Christian scholars who were unaware of how the Masoretes handled the name, they proceeded to mispronounce the name as Yehovah or Jehovah. So that's completely incorrect. There's no God called Jehovah. Because again, the Masoretes never intended for the name to be pronounced using the superimposed vowel points. They used the nikudot only as indicators that a completely separate word should be spoken. So while the letters YHVH remain in the text, it didn't get pointed like most every other word in the Hebrew Bible, with the vowel points needed for its actual pronunciation. And this is the crux of the problem concerning the name, because the Jewish tradition of an ineffable sacred name, followed by a writing system intended to preserve Hebrew pronunciation that purposely omits Hebrew pronunciation, leaves us without an authoritative way to say the name. And as a result, we now no longer know how to correctly say YHVH. The full and true pronunciation has sadly been lost to antiquity. That's just the way it is.